A lot of people say, why can't people live in peace and harmony? That's very simple. How do you do that? So you have to know how to go to another country, and when they see you, they don't think you're there to exploit their resources. You see, you have to undo all that. Like when I was in Dubai, I was talking to a member of the prince's family, and I said to him, I don't like our president one bit. I think he's dangerous. I'm talking about Bush. Extremely dangerous man, and I don't vote for him at all. And he said this, if I get Bush, I'd cut him to pieces. Wow. So you never knew that. They said that's our friends in Dubai. They're not our friends. They need us for certain things. But I would say the world is pretty much against the United States. If you really, that's why I said that. I want to know where it was. When I went to China, I tried to talk to people about how do you feel about U.S. armament. That's when I got the bit about controlling the electronic systems. I said instead of building a big army, although they're building a big army in rockets, their real aim is to make good electrical engineers and computer technicians to jam military systems. So all submarines, all aircraft carriers depend on computers. And so if you learn to jam that, you can wipe out the country. You can wipe out all production systems, everything else. So you don't spend your money. There's just a lot of money on aircraft and aircraft carriers and submarines. The submarines roll over $1 billion apiece. So if you use $1 billion in electronics, or 20 billion, you conquer the world. You see, now if China wins, they will enslave the world for a period until technology evolves. Because the leaders of China are not technicians, they're politicians, unfortunately. And technicians tend to think that politicians know what they're doing. They're politicians, we're technicians. They think that one is just as good as the other. You're a musician, he's a farmer, I'm an electrical engineer. It's the electrical engineer and the agronomist that can grow a lot of food, not the farmer. You know what I mean? We don't know in government what is important, and the Bush administration dissolved the Scientific Advisory Board to the government. Do you know that? The man is a puppet of the establishment. Bush, real stupid guy. But Cheney is not very bright either. All these people are very dangerous. But there's nothing I can say except the system has to fall, and they will push anything liberal out and make up any stories. I could say he's a child molester. Get that rumor out there. If you get the rumor out there, it'll discredit you, whether you did it or not. Do you understand? Spread false rumors, and that'll come with the Venus Project. It isn't important enough yet, not that well fortified yet, for the rumors to start out.
That's what Alex Jones is trying to do.
What's that?
Alex Jones.
That guy's so stupid.
Alex Jones?
Yeah.
Alex Jones.
Yeah,
He's a moron.
Make up all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah, he said the Luciferian.
He asked me to be on the show,
Right after
and I
PJ was
refused
on.
him.
That was a joke.
Did you see that?
Oh, it was
When
completely ridiculous.
He acted like a child the whole
Oh
time.
yeah.
What did he
He
say?
acted like
He
a
just threw a tantrum and was just attacking Peter Joseph and.
Yeah.
Oh, you're bubble-headed, intelligent,
was.
blah,
He
blah,
wouldn't
blah.
even listen. He was jumping around.
He said
like
it was
an
a
idiot.
satanic theosophical cult.
Cult?
Yeah. Venus is the morning...
Synonymous with Satan. I'm like, it's in Venus, Florida. You fucking
Is
idiot.
he wealthy?
He does a lot of outrageous conspiracy theory type things.
He makes
Really
money off
crazy things.
Oh yeah, how can we get rid of them?
Is he a god?
That's what I want to know.
Is he religious?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, very. He's got a very large following of
Alex
Christian...
Jones.
With a capital B.
I'll tell you.
Well, what I do
We got lots of time.
with religious people, when they come here, if they're a priest, and I say, I would wear that cross if I were you. I said, why not? They always say the same thing. God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, sacrificed him. I said, according to the witnesses, Jesus arose and went back into heaven, so there's no sacrifice. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Then, I said, why not? Why should I wear the cross? I said, because that's what man did to Christ. It has nothing to do with his teachings. They used to crucify people that criticized the government and establishment. So if you wear that around your neck, it's what man did to Christ. So he says, you've confused me. So I said, suppose your brother was accused of raping and murdering a female, and they hung him. 10 years later they find out he did nothing like that. Are you going to wear a noose with your brother hanging from it? You got the message.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, they don't put anything together.
That's not it, yeah.
The Bible is one batch of contradictions. For example, just before they crucified Christ, they told me that God was omnipotent, knew everything, made every galaxy, every bug, every planet. So just before they crucified Christ, he looked up and he said, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. As though God would, gee, thanks for telling me that. I didn't know that. No, that's an insult to deity. But the people that read the Bible don't seem to put those things together. In fact, they don't seem to put anything together. So what I do is say that the church sold out to the monetary system. It honors people that are wealthy, where Christ would have chased them out. Said, if you have any more money than you need to live, give it to the poor. A rich man asked him, can I enter the kingdom of heaven? He said, oh, the same chance a camel has going to the eye of a needle. And we worship all the rich people today. They're all on high places. And I've heard nothing dumber than this guy that puts up big buildings and sells. What's his name?
Donald Trump?
You're thinking of Trump.
What's his name?
Yeah, Trump.
Trump. Donald is a real asshole.
Yeah.
No information at all. And they got him on TV and has nothing to say.
Yeah.
Military men have nothing to say, except we need more cannons and more rockets and things like that. They have nothing new to say. And all the people they interview on TV are people usually that are pro-establishment. So it isn't a democracy unless you have different points of view. And with different points of view, you're going to produce confusion in this country. A lot of riots, people will be shooting other people. Unfortunately, they don't know how to solve problems. When I was a kid, all we had was cowboys with 2 guns. They never solved problems. They shot the disagreement. They got rid of it. And all blacks were always seen running away from ghosts in all the movies. And Mexicans sleeping in the sun under their big sunroof. Lazy sun sleepers.
Yeah.
And our movies were about Italian gangsters only.
Yeah.
And there were all kinds of Irish gangsters before them. After the Italian gangsters, there was a new lot gang, Jewish gangsters. So we have Irish gangsters, all different types, which isn't shown on television. We should show, or we can, but in our movie we show a lot of stuff. The little girl says to her daddy, you've explained it very well, she says, are we going to Grandma's house this afternoon? And Daddy says, yes. And the little girl says, does she still live in that old house? He says, yes. Why? Well, maybe she has pleasant associations with it. And Grandma's house is one of those cable suspended things. Oh, beautiful, awful precedents. You know, fantastic architecture. But let's just get the audience. Hey, she's old-fashioned. She doesn't update her house every 5 years like everyone else does. See, so it's not a fixed society. So the kid looks at the house as old-fashioned. But the audience will look at it as light years ahead. And we show a lot of stuff in the home of the future. We show how all energy conserved, how buildings have no termites, no dust, because the air pressure in the building is just a little higher than outside, so no dust ever comes in. And then we show electrostatic air filters in the building that take out, so you don't have to cover your mouth when you sneeze, and most diseases will be taken care of differently.
We already do that in operating rooms. There's no reason we can't do them everywhere.
You know why we don't.